Hey friends, welcome back to Honey That's Grace. I'm Jen and I'm here with Alice and Katie. Hey guys.
Hi. Oh.
So glad you're here. Today we are talking about your favorite subject, patience.
Hard pass, no.
Yeah. Who's picking these topics?
I don't know. I don't know. But I
Oh.
thought we could spend some time talking about just everyday patience. And I know we probably all have so many stories about patience and
Mhm.
how maybe we didn't have patience, but
Mm.
I thought we could spend some time talking about that. Just the everyday kind, the kind that pulls us and stretches us and deep makes us want to deep sigh, take deep breaths. So I thought we could do that. Sound
Yeah.
good?
All right.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Okay. All right. So real quick, if you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe. You don't want to miss out on our conversations and our episodes. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I also, before we get started, wanted to give a special shout out to one of our favorite listeners, Lila. We absolutely love all your feedback and support. We so appreciate you. We are so proud of you and we pray for you all the time and can't
Yes.
wait to see what God does in your life. Awesome. All right, Katie, take us through some patience talk.
You guys, I feel like God gives me many opportunities to practice patience. And I actually, so sorry to bore mom with this story because I told it to her when she was visiting a few weeks ago. But I struggle sometimes with like feeling like my patience has to either be all there or it doesn't count. Do you know what I mean? I have such lofty expectations of myself that I'm just going to be perfect in every situation I encounter. But I was
Mm,
telling mom and dad this story of we were leaving church and we were heading from this like harvest festival to a hike in Eagle River, and which was like an hour away. And my son was potty training, and so we like leave church with usable toilets. Where I said, "Hey, does anybody in this family need to go to the bathroom?" No, how dare I assume, right? So we like get in the car. We're like 10 minutes down the road. It's Alaska, like it's you guys know you've been here. It's not like there's like easy pull offs, It's like so we leave this harvest festival where we've all had like cake and donuts and like we're harvest festivaled, And my youngest is like, I gotta go pee. And I'm like, okay, let's go pee. I like whip off the road. He doesn't go pee. I'm like, that's fine. We're fine. We're fine. Also, I was single parenting, I should add, right? So I'm like do you guys ever feel that like creep up feeling?
Yes.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like
Yes.
you're like, and I'm like fighting it. I'm like, don't say anything. Keep your big fat mouth shut, Catherine. Like, I'm like, great, we're gonna have so much fun hiking. Did you have fun at the harvest festival? Like, and so we like make it like 10 more minutes down the road. We're like getting into the city we live in. And my daughter is like, I gotta go pee. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we like pull over. She does go pee. Okay. Then we like everybody gets in the car. We're 2 minutes down the road, and the youngest is like, I gotta go pee. And I'm like, and so we pull off the road, each one a little more frantic. He does not go pee. And then I start lecturing. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, go to the bathroom when we're near toilets. Like, and I'm like, the whole time though, I like start praying. I'm like, God, help me be patient. Like, don't let me react in anger. I'm like, I'm going to lose my freaking mind if we have to pull this. Mom, I need to go pee, a fourth time. Now we're like hitting highway. We're heading to our hike, right? And I pull over and nothing. And I'm like, I get in the car and I'm like, I am not stopping this car again. Like, pee your pants, you know, like, and then I pray and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Mommy lost her patience. Like, please forgive me. I'm a little bit stressed about how many times we've had to pull over. The youngest one, again, for like the fifth time, is like, I've got to go pee. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's go pee.
Oh.
So we like pull off the side of the road. We're now like 20 minutes late, to the hike. And he doesn't go pee. We get to the trailhead. He finally goes pee. And I'm like, okay, great. And then we get back in the car, we start heading to the restaurant we're gonna go to, and he's like, "Mama, I gotta go poop." And I'm like, "Ah!" And thankfully that was accomplished. But it just I remember later that night kind of laying in bed and feeling like, do you guys ever like catalog how well or poorly you feel like you've done during the day?
All the
And
time.
I was just being so judgmental to myself and just, feeling so like, man, I could have handled that better. Like I lost my patience in the car. That between like stop number 3 and stop number 5, I was like, like frantic in the car and like not speaking well. I think I even told the kids like nobody talk to me. Like, you know, I can't do it, I'm just one person. And but
Triple
but
teamed.
I
Yeah.
yeah, and I was just really beating myself up. But I think, as I look back on that now, I think it's a great example of like modeling, like, yeah, I did lose my patience with the kids, but
Mhm.
then I rebounded, I apologized, I made it
Yes.
right. And I was able to show them, like, yes, we stopped 3 more times that day before we made it back home. And we can laugh about it. And then it was about turning it into humor. Like, let's laugh about it. How funny is
Mhm.
that we had to
Mhm.
stop that many times and, Nady would not pee. And, and anyway, and it's just like, as we talk about patience, I want to just like, sometimes for me, it's like, I'm also incredibly impatient with myself. And I think I
Mhm.
should just be able to like get it right, get it perfect every time. And we're not going to. We're going to lose our cool and we're going to be
Yeah.
impatient. Whether we're waiting for like God to answer a prayer or we're waiting for our kids to go pee on the side of the road, like
Mhm.
we're going to like lose that patience. And I think there's grace in that story
Yeah.
too. And now it's like a
Mhm.
hilarious story. And I think the story isn't none of the kids as they tell that story are telling like, and then mom was a raging jerk. They're saying like how funny it was that,
Mhm.
mom
Yeah. Right.
threw it down for them and like, we made it work. And anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great story I think to get us started on the patience journey.
Well, for me, patience is choosing not to explode when everything in me, I'm not as patient as you, Katie, but everything in me is telling me to explode and I'm going to ignite and go. But patience is me not doing that. I was at the grocery store the other day,
Mhm.
standing in
I feel
line.
like you hate the grocery store.
Dad loves it.
Yeah. So I'm standing in line in the express line, and you know what the express line is? What? 15 items or less.
How many did you have?
I had probably 8 things,
Oh, okay.
but I was following the rules, but I was in line and the lady in front of me, if
Mm.
she had 15, she had 30
Uh-oh, bad
at
lady.
least. And I was standing there and I was in a hurry. And of course, I had chosen the wrong lane to go in. And she began getting her things out very slowly, putting them on the counter, checking the jars. Yes, that's how I felt. And then she began to talk to the cash register lady, the cashier. And they just started chatting and carrying on. And then the cashier asked her if she had any coupons. Then she had to find all her coupons. Then she went to pay and her credit card was declined. So they had to talk about that. And then she used another one. So I had to remind myself that God had not sent that lady there that day at that time to ruin my life. So I had to calm down, take a deep breath, realize, okay, everything's going to work out. I might be a few minutes late, but it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a key to like fostering patience in your life is like slowing down. And when I start to feel that like frantic feeling, which I have felt many times in my life, I realize most of the time it's from anxiety and I
Mhm.
can slow down and it's gonna be okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that frantic feeling I was feeling in the car, like it was, it's gonna be okay. Like,
Mhm.
and it's interesting to like get to that spot when you're trying to like develop patience or like be more patient. It's
Yeah.
like, letting go is really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely, Katie. I thought of that too, about slowing down. As a
Mhm.
mom, it's hard to slow down because
Mhm.
you have 35,000 things to do,
Mhm.
and you also have a life and a work or job or husband and, dot, dot, dot. But
Yeah.
um, I think for me, I had to get to the place so that I could have patience is not trying to cram so much into that time frame. Cause I am really
Mhm.
bad about that. Oh, I am very capable to get like 10 things done.
Yeah, I think that's so
Yeah.
true, Mom. Like, I used to struggle maybe just even like 9, 10 months ago until I
Yeah.
realized I was doing it, and I would say to the kids, like, "I'm going as fast as I can." Like, I would say it to them frantically when, like, needs are coming at me, and then
Mhm.
I realized, like, actually, I don't wanna go as fast as I
Yeah.
can. Like,
Right.
now my tagline is, "Mom can do one thing at a time," and right now I'm helping this
Mhm.
need, and then I will address your need, or
Good.
what things can you guys take on? Um,
Yeah.
and I think
Mhm.
that's been a tricky new learning curve in our family is like, "Actually, I'm not gonna do it all for you," which maybe
Mhm.
is a different topic, but, yeah, I think that idea of slowing down, not being frantic is such a key to, like, fostering patience in your life.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it's
Absolutely.
hard too to slow down when you have everyone coming at you with these expectations of
Oh,
like what you're
yeah.
supposed to be as a mom and what you're supposed to be as a employee. What are you supposed to be, I don't know, as a dog owner and a house owner, like all these things you're supposed to do. It's so hard to just slow down.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, when you finally do slow down and you're like, I'm going to read, like I'm gonna
Mhm.
just sit down and read. Do you think that there is like, do you think the kids like understand, like, don't interrupt me? No,
I
they will
know.
come. It's like a beacon where they're like, oh, she's
It's like
reading.
a beacon.
She's
She's
having
reading.
quiet time reading or something like that. It's like,
Right.
go
Yeah.
ask her 10,000 things.
They think you're lonely.
Yeah, I'm lonely.
Right.
That's it.
They do that.
Yeah,
But
that's so
I'm
true, Jen.
I'm also like a fixer. And so
Mm.
I have to be careful because I will do it all for the
Mhm.
kids. I will
Mhm.
do it all for
Mhm.
them, but it's just not, that's not going to help
Mhm.
them in life. And that's not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not good for me. Then I quickly become overwhelmed and
Mhm.
impatient and
Yep.
then explode.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's,
I feel like I could you just described, like, when I'm at my worst, that's what it
yep,
is. I'm doing everything for everybody, I'm not taking breaks, then I
yep,
become resentful and impatient, and
yep.
I usually I don't explode outwardly, usually for me, it's like an implode. Like, then I'm
Mm,
sad,
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed, I'm down on myself, I'm beating myself up, and
yeah.
it's
Mhm.
like people wouldn't know, maybe from the outside, it's only the people closest to me know. But,
Mhm.
so I 100% think that, and maybe we're talking about a fast patience that is really connected to anxiety.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we have a tendency to become impatient with people
Mm.
when we have an expectation for the situation
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
they don't have.
Yeah.
And so we're expecting them to get to a place, whether it's to the dinner table or getting their chores done or homework done. We're expecting them to be at a place
Mhm.
at at here where they are
Mhm.
not, eh, they don't know your expectation.
Right. Or if
So I
they're
believe
your kid, they might know your expectation and not care.
and not care. That's absolutely right. That is true.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be careful and
Mhm.
remind ourselves of that.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
this is where I can sometimes become impatient.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
I need to express my expectation or so in some cases we may need to lower our expectation or recognize that they can't, no matter what, they can never live up to my expectation.
It's so true, Mom. I homeschool my kiddos, and we were having a really big issue earlier in the year because my kindergartner who's learning to read would be completely sidetracked by my 2-year-old who's currently getting a degree in destruction. And, and so it would be like, she all of a sudden she's so sensitive and all of a sudden she would be crying, the youngest would be screaming, and I would be losing my mind, and I think as I was trying to brainstorm, like, why, and it would feel terrible too. Like, I don't feel good when I'm impatient and angry and upset,
Yeah.
and so it would feel like I'm failing because our homeschool isn't kumbaya and us making friendship bracelets. It's like mom screaming at the toddler to shut up. I would never say that, but that was my internal, like, be
Yeah.
quiet. We're trying to read, and I, like, made this plan that I hired my 2nd grader. He gets it as part of his allowance to babysit his 2-year-old brother, and it's amazing, but as I was talking, it's been working really well, but as I was talking to one of my friends, she was like, "How about that be the 30, 45 minutes a day that your youngest watches Paw Patrol?" And it was like, "Oh, like, why didn't I think of that?" And it was because I had these expectations of myself that my kids wouldn't watch Paw
Mhm.
Patrol, you know, how that would be like failure to use the TV to babysit him,
Mhm.
and it just kind of like reminded me that sometimes we're like blinded. We have
Mhm.
these blind spots where we're almost making it harder for ourselves to like be patient, because
Yeah.
we've constructed this obstacle course of our own, like, expectations of
Yeah.
ourselves.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
really true.
Absolutely, Katie.
The other day, I don't know if I told you guys this story, but the other day, well, we were going out of town and we were gonna go, um, I say we, me and the kids were gonna go drop off the dogs at the lady who's watching them. And she lives kind of like out in the middle, like 20 minutes away from us. And I was doing it on my like lunch break. So I had one
Oh,
hour, right? So everything's
yeah.
planned. Like,
You've
okay,
gotta
we got lunch in
go.
10 minutes there. Like,
Mhm.
we just gotta go, go, go. So of course, like everything, like traffic is ridiculous. Everyone's, going so slow out for their like Friday drive. Like, what are you doing? Like, get off the road. Get out.
You do live in, like, old people central.
Yes, yes. And I'm like, "What is happening right now?" So, like, everything and then while we're on the way, Bama, our cockapoo, throws up everywhere. Everywhere. I'm talking all over Emma, all over the seat, in between the seat, on the carpet, like,
Ooh.
everywhere, and it is terrible smelling, and do you think that I had, like, napkins or wipes or old towel or something? No, we had
Ugh.
nothing in the car, and we're
You
out in
weren't
the middle of
prepared.
no, no, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, right, trying to find somebody, finally find a Dollar General or something like that, run in and get stuff, it's, like, soaked into everything. Oh, it was just absolutely terrible, and then, a 17-year-old was looked at me and she's like, "Ah, I think God's trying to teach you patience today." And, it's funny because she wasn't wrong. I was supposed to
She
be
wasn't
learning
wrong.
something or growing in some way or something. But I just laughed and, thought in my mind, like, all right, God, take this situation because it was like, rising in me to
Yeah.
explode. And I will explode on the outside, not on the inside. And it didn't nothing, like, magically transformed, right? Like, the puke was still there, and poor Bama was still sick and all of that, but I think it really helped, like, shift my mindset, like, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Like, slow down.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Your boss is gonna understand if you're a couple minutes late. The dog lady is gonna understand, like, it's gonna be okay."
Kids are so humbling and sanctifying too because, like Brooke's comment, like, delivered in a little bit of a special way,
Yeah.
but, like, humbling, to
Yeah.
be like, "Okay,
Yes.
yeah, like, you're right." But, like, true too,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
and so needed to snap me like, a little bit of humor to snap me
Right.
out of my
Yeah.
Mercury rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the truth. Like, I think that's the part of, like, the Holy Spirit in you, and I don't wanna, like, like, go too deep, but, like, obviously you had that moment to, like,
Yeah.
come back and be just like me in the
Mhm.
car. I felt like it was failure to have lost my temper for 20
Mhm.
minutes and to be upset. But then it's like, God brings us back. He's so faithful to pull us back to where we need to be and remind us. And I love that you could, like, take hold of that, and be
Mhm.
like, okay, like, the day doesn't have to be ruined because something barfy
Right.
happened, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Barfy. I like that word. Yeah, I was thinking that, patience is not a personality trait. It's not like some lucky
Mhm.
women are born, with lots of patience or with blue eyes or, the ability to grow basil without killing it.
I
But
did
no,
not get that. Jennifer
I
did.
didn't either.
No, I
But
try so hard, but I cannot
Jennifer,
grow
look at your
any.
stupid plants behind you.
No, no,
yeah.
no, herbs. I can't grow any
Oh.
herbs. I try so hard because I use so much cilantro and like green onion.
Oh,
Mhm.
Okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised in the, hot place you live that you can't grow them. Maybe try
You
down there.
can.
oh, the
You
lady
can.
next door has like
You
a whole
can.
farm back. I mean, a whole garden back there.
Farm.
But farms.
Yeah.
She says she farms bees too. But okay, so
Well,
okay.
some of us are, well, I don't know if any of us are, but some of us are born gentle and whispery, and some of us aren't. I remember used to thinking, seeing, seeing the, gentle women, the soft spoken women at church. And I would think, well, shoot, Lord, you didn't you didn't make me that way. You made me loud and with a short fuse, you know. Um, but patience is something we have to work on. We have
Yeah.
to, work on it. Um,
But he gave
you
you
know,
dad
yeah.
who is has a ton of patience, right?
Yes, that has to be it. I used to loudly proclaim, well, I don't pray for patience. Because, I would think, well, if you pray for patience, God's going to give you reasons like a barfy dog or something, or
Yeah.
reasons to need patience, right? But gosh, silly me, right? God knew.
Mhm.
It's not like he was unaware what was happening in my life. But I think
Mhm.
patience is something that we have to work on. You
Yeah.
know, we have to use these opportunities. Like what I think I've heard all of us say is that, gosh, we're in real life. This is
Mhm.
this is real. This isn't a test run. This is real.
Mhm.
And we're always in situations where the mercury rises. I love that. I'm gonna start thinking of
I know,
that
I
when,
like that.
you
Yeah.
know,
I think
I
but
know, and
so.
I think, like, that saying, like, "Oh, you have the patience of Job," but I think sure, okay, great, but I think one of the things that I see when I read Job is a lot of tears,
Mhm.
anger, frustration, questioning,
Mhm.
hurt. Like, he was patient, I guess,
Yeah.
but is that how we describe patience? Like, I've never really understood that, but it does give me a lot of grace for myself because I'm like, yeah, like, maybe Job would have reacted the same way if his kids needed to stop 8 times to go pee.
Mhm.
Like, he maybe would maybe it is okay that we have this moment of, like, "Ah," and then we remember,
Mhm.
like, the Lord is our strength, and I think
Exactly.
like, in that moment in the car, I keep going back to that, but there were some
Mhm.
clear moments where I was praying for patience and praying that I
Mhm.
would not lose my ever loving mind,
Yeah.
that I could do this. And,
Mhm.
maybe that's the piece that we think we should just be perfect with our patience,
Mhm.
I know.
like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
kumbaya, like, yay.
Yeah.
But like sometimes things are just crappy and it's
Mhm.
frustrating and we have to
Mhm.
arrive in patience with that. And, the fruit of the spirit, it's not
Mhm.
like if you think about Galatians 5, right before that, it talks about the fruit of the flesh. It doesn't say the fruit of the flesh, it just says the acts of the well, I don't know what it says, but it talks about the things that we would do
Right.
if we
Right.
didn't have the Spirit,
Right.
and even we struggle in that sin, and but the fruit of the Spirit. So I think about that a lot, it's like, yeah, I
Mhm.
screwed up. The Holy Spirit is in me, helping me, growing me, and this is something that He is going to help me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that you said something that I don't know if you realize that you said it, but when like our kids need to see that
Mm,
example of, losing it or
yeah.
feeling, so overwhelmed and so impatient, but then bringing
Mhm,
it back with an apology, bringing it back to God, praying, like our kids need to see that
Mhm.
example so that
mhm,
later in life or even now when they feel that coming, they're able to course correct or
yeah,
apologize when needed or set that example. So I think that's really really an important thing. Like we are going to fail and we are going to be impatient, but how we're able to turn it around and
Yeah.
bring it back to God. So
yeah,
Absolutely, Jennifer. I think that's with most
yeah.
things. I mean, you girls saw plenty of me losing it. And,
lots.
so according to Jennifer, now you all know, you both know how to handle life.
Thanks, mom.
That's right. Thanks. Yeah. No, but Katie, you're right. Patience is a fruit. And, fruit takes a long time to grow. It takes a long time to
Mm,
mature before it's sweet and edible.
mm,
But fruit takes time. It takes
yeah,
time to grow. It takes time to mature and get sweet so that
mhm,
it is edible. And we have to remember that Jesus is working with each of
Yeah.
us and he wants us to call on him. And so sometimes it is saying, help me, Jesus, as you're fishing stuff out of the toilet, right? That your child threw in
always.
there.
Um,
That's
do you
right.
know what I was just thinking about when you said that? But have you ever wanted an avocado so bad that you're like willing to cut it open when you know it's like not just right?
Mhm.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was thinking about like ripening fruit and because avocado is a
Yeah,
fruit.
Yeah, and there's a spiritual lesson there.
See, there you go. But I want
right? What would that
so
spiritual lesson be like?
Josh
I
is
don't
like,
know.
don't do it, don't do it. And I'm like,
Don't
no,
do
I
it.
need
And then do
avocado.
you ever, like, try it? You're like, "No, it's probably better," and then you're like,
Yeah, it's like it's crunchy like an apple.
I
It tastes
I know.
I'm
terrible.
like, darn it.
I know.
But there's
Yeah,
only like one day. There's like too early and then
Mhm,
one
right.
day and then bad. So
Yep.
anyway, sorry.
mhm.
That was a tangent there, but that's what I was thinking about when you said fruit.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking about. Yeah, I
great.
think that's so true. I don't know exactly how to pull that back to patience.
No, you have to be patient. Otherwise, it's going to be bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, there you go. You have to be patient. Otherwise, it's gonna be bad.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it kinda goes back to not to be too therapist-y here, but it goes back to that place of, like, grounding ourselves and making sure we are emotionally regulated so we can deal with all. Because I struggle with that a lot, like,
Mhm.
if I'm a little bit off, like being patient with toddlers and young kids is really hard. There's just so
Mhm.
much screaming, you guys. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is okay to say, but when
Uh-oh.
dad was in Alaska, he looked at me and said, "Katie, I'm so surprised you're not a day drinker."
Yes.
Just because of, like, the level of noise in my home,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
our kids especially, we've had kind of a tough season. Is this like everybody's kids at
Mhm.
Christmas time? Just a lot of fighting and
Yeah.
Mhm.
yelling, and I feel like me and Ben are kinda, like, so
Same back.
dysregulated right now with it that it is hard to be patient. Yeah, like, remembering to, like, give ourselves
Yeah.
second chances, third
Yeah.
chances, million chances. It's okay, to regulate yourself, when you feel like you're out of sorts.
We take the 2 weeks off for break or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And they're just well, Easton goes to work, but the two young, the girls, they do nothing. And I'm like, okay, we gotta. they'll
Yeah.
tackle their chores. They'll do that,
Mhm.
but then they just sit around, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give them something to do. So went, I went on, I think it was like ChatGPT or something, and I'm like, create all these different prompts for presentations. So every day they have to make a different presentation,
That's so
and
fun.
then
I
they have to
love
present it to
that.
it at night. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. Sorry,
That's
That's
super
awesome.
fun. No, I love that. It's good to, like, get ahead on the yeah, maybe it is just all siblings rip each other
I
apart when
know
they're
they
left to
do.
their own devices.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
And
not
I
us
don't
though.
remember I was like, I don't remember it, so maybe my kids will also not remember the
No.
violence. It's just
I'm
so
glad.
hard. It's so hard for me because 'cause I'm just, like, wanna live in, like, a really, like,
Peaceful.
neutral, peaceful
Mhm.
environment, and I oftentimes have to put
Don't.
an AirPod in and go to another place to
Yeah.
to make
Happy
it
place.
Mhm.
to go to my
Yeah.
happy place is
Yeah.
generally, really inappropriate 90s music and 20 minutes of that, and I'm usually good.
And you're usually dancing and happy after you've
Yeah,
listened to
we
it,
we do
so
a lot of dancing in this house,
yeah,
so
yeah, and that's
Associated
good.
kids are mortified when I dance, but I think I'm pretty good. Also, I'm really good at singing. Yes.
Yeah.
anyway,
So,
that's
but
another thing of, like, patience is, like we were talking about patience in the day-to-day, which is super
yeah.
wonderful, and maybe sometime we should talk about like, being patient in the long run, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard. That's really
It's
hard.
so
Well, here's what we want you guys to hear, that waiting and this patience, patience in waiting is not wasted, right?
Mhm,
It's good. It means that you're growing. God's doing something in you. So even when it's so hard and you think, well, what in the whole wide world am I supposed to learn here? Know that this is that time that
Mhm.
God is stretching you and growing you
mhm.
in ways that you won't be able to see
Mhm.
now, but you will in the future.
That's right.
So
Yeah, and 100% you're not alone in the wait. I feel like we're surrounded by a
Mhm.
cloud of saints and
yeah.
witnesses, everybody who's trying to walk this faith journey too.
Mhm. And that even when you, when you're stretched thin, God is there.
So keep breathing,
Yes.
keep trusting, and remember, honey, that's grace. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Your support means so much. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can keep growing this community together.
Honey, That's Grace is for informational purposes only and is not professional therapy, legal, or medical advice. Please consult a qualified professional for guidance specific to your situation. The hosts are not liable for any decisions you make based on this content.